Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 48, Hike to the wonderful Wylie's Beach in Princeville, Kauai, Hawaii. Wylie's Beach is literally right next to the Westin Princeville, but very few people know about it. You have to take a hike down to it, down a fairly steep hill. Don't do it if it's been raining a lot, but it's a wonderful, quiet beach, and I just wanted to share that with you. It's kind of a hidden gem of beaches, not in any of the brochures. Before I do that, I'll tell you a little bit about my channel, and then I'll go right into the walk to the Wylie's Beach. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm your timeshare traveler. The goal of my YouTube channel is improving your timeshare travels. I'll do this through timeshare video reviews, tips for using timeshares, and much, much more. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, Twitter at Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. And if you like my videos, don't forget to click subscribe below. Today's review is a walk down to Wylie Beach and a view of Wylie Beach. To find Wylie Beach is in Princeville, and you start at the just east of the Westin Princeville. There's a parking lot. You can see the cars parked here. So I'm walking there, and it's quite a walk down the hill. And the hotel tells you that you have to be careful, and I agree with them. What you need to do is make sure that the day before or so, beautiful view of the golf course. Okay, now walking down the path that you entered right just off the parking lot, and notice here that the ground is relatively dry, and that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that it hasn't been raining all day, because you're going to go down a hill and it becomes a bit of a, I won't call it a mudslide, but it's something to be considered of, because it rains here a lot on Kauai, so the beach is always there. So I'll take a little video a little further up. Okay, and a little further along, I just want to point out that I've been walking basically parallel along the Westin Princeville, and so now I'm just starting downhill, and you can see that the ground is hard packed and it looks relatively dry, and the red color is from the volcanic ash from thousands of years ago. And now you just sort of follow not the path to the left, and you're going down. And this is why I say if it's really muddy, this could be quite slippery, because you can see that a lot of dirt is exposed. But the nice thing, if for some reason someone has come by, often putting in shovels, so you actually have a footpath. I don't know if you can see them, but you can actually brace your feet against that. And it's a fairly well-worn path, but it's a beautiful path because it's beautiful trees and so forth to look along. So just like the rest of Kauai, it's beautiful. You can look down off to the right, down more toward the beach, and I'll take a little video a little further down. A little further down, and again, I'm taking my time just to make sure nothing's slippery, but again, beautiful trees. The path is quite wide, and I've seen kids as young as 3 coming down here, so I wouldn't, even though you be careful, I wouldn't call it treacherous by any means. But it's kind of one of my favorite beaches. I'm not really a lay on the beach kind of person, but it's not very crowded. Mostly probably because not a lot of people want to walk down this hill, I suppose. And they do somewhat discourage it at the Westin Princeville. I think mostly because they're afraid of recommending it and then someone getting hurt and their lawyer suing them. So I'm about halfway down, maybe a little more than halfway. And again, you can see like someone almost taken a shovel and put steps in here. And you can sort of see there's a section here that's a little more muddy, but I'm going to go on the steps here. Stay away from that. And there's a little concrete section here. I think this is where the water is supposed to run off. So I just go over that and continue on down. I'll take a break and come back in a minute. A little further down, it's a beautiful walk. Not to mention how the beach is, but you'll see that shortly. And it's winding its way And again, here's some more stairs that someone seems to have shoveled into the dirt, and they must do it every so often. So just follow the stair steps. I don't know if you can call them that, but that's what I'm calling them. And here you can see an area that's a little more muddy, but you can also see that you can either, if it's really muddy, you can take the high road to the right, but I'm going to take the one to the left off here and just walk through the grate and then continue on down. And again, beautiful birds and a beautiful walk. And you can see here where the water is coming down and the trail is a bit muddy, so you wouldn't want to come when it's been really raining a lot. And we're almost there. Just around the corner, you can just start to see a glimpse of the beach. It's quite a beautiful walk. I'm going to keep the video going here because we're almost there. And I think the way it opens up is kind of cool. So I want to show you that. So after all that down, you just have a momentary up. And now you can see the water. And you walk on down to the beach. All the hard work is done except for going back up. And what I like about it is you can just sit on the rocks here as two people are doing. Didn't ask them to demonstrate, but they are. And you can be under the shade, or you can go to the right, which is where the beach is and where I'm going to go, because I want to show you something I like about it. So I'll catch up a little bit later here. So now you can see the beach opening up, and you can see a lot of the brown area in close. That's actually the sand that you can walk out on, and I'm going to walk out about a quarter mile. In fact, if you look out here, you can actually see people out about, I'd say maybe a quarter mile. I'm not going to go out that far, but I am going to go out. So the one tricky part of this walk is getting across what is a little river here. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to navigate the river, and really the trick is getting your shoes a little wet, take your shoes off because it's not deep. It might be 5 inches. We had a lot of rain the last couple days, so it's a little hard. There is a walk bridge, but I'm not going to try to use the log. I'm going to try to be the old-fashioned way, just sort of walking. So I'm going to go sort of walk over this, and I'm still wearing my shoes. Probably not a great idea, but one I'm doing. And I'm just looking for the spots to land where it's not very deep, and just walking across on my tiptoes. And there you have it, the major obstacle to getting to the open beach. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. And now I'm across. And now you can see the beach actually opens up, and you can almost go, I think you can walk all the way to any beach here if you just keep going around the corner there, but I'll be going out into the water before that. Okay, off with the shoes, time to go out in the water. You can see the sort of gentle waves here because out further you can see the waves that the breaker. So here it's not, if you're looking for a wavy beach, this is not it, unless you like baby waves, at which point that's what you got. So I'm gonna head out walking out here, and I'll put the video back on once I get a little further out. Okay, I'm a little further out, just to give you a sense of how far out I am. And it's not quite up to my knees yet. Now I'm a 6'6", so that probably my knees and your knees are a little bit different. But I'm still walking in the sand, and you can see there's a few rocks here and there. I'll also point out another thing. As you can see off to the left, there are more rocks. And off to the right, you can see where it's a little darker there, those are the rocks. So you can, I think, do snorkeling, although I've not done that. I believe there's some basic snorkeling where the fish will be eating close to the rocks. But also you can start to see some darker blue. whereas here it's brown because you're walking on the sand. And again, I'm gently making my way out here, and I'll put on the video a little bit later when I get a little further out. And now I'm pretty far out, and there's some people getting ready to go out, and I guess, I'm not sure what you call that, with the using the air to get along. I think that's probably sailboarding. And you can see there that the water does get deeper, but this is how far out I am. I'll zoom in. I'm probably a quarter mile out, maybe at least, maybe 100 yards at a minimum. Maybe closer to a quarter mile, but maybe not. And again, it's barely up to my, it's just barely up to my swim trunks. You can see, again, I'm 6'6", but it's not even 3 feet deep yet. And I'm pretty far out. But if I wanted to go where it's deeper, you can see where they're on their boards, the bluer color. So they've got much more clearance on that. Again, it's a beautiful beach. There's houses here that can be rented. And it's not that crowded. So it's beautiful. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. It's called Wylie Beach. I hope you enjoyed this.